Hey, what is up everybody, Blades for here, and today I bring you guys another video of Persona 5X. Inside today's video, guys, we're mainly just going to be doing a little bit of the heart rail mode while also talking about exactly the characters who are going to be coming here. Now, of course, a lot of us do know the banner schedule for the most part, and if you don't, of course, I've done plenty of videos on that one. This one's going to be kind of similar, so won't really be too in the dark with this one here. But we do have the P5R at least game, or at least I wouldn't say game, sorry. The banners actually coming out, which are going to be Violet and Akechi. Now, these characters, of course, are some huge name characters, and a lot of us are very excited to really see them and exactly see how they're going to actually play in the game. And I wanted to really go over, of course, the banner timing for this. Now, some of us do know what we're really going to be seeing in the future, or at least we do know exactly what's to kind of be expected in the future for this thing. But we don't know exactly when these things are actually coming out. So if you guys are interested in this, be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy the video as always. And hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Helps me out in the long run. And it also helps the channel so I can do a lot more videos like these that are very more informational and also more interesting here. So as on the thumbnail here, we're going to be mainly talking about, of course, the options of at least Kasumi or Sumire, as well as Akechi, and how this is really going to be going down, what are the banner schedules, and when are we going to get that mystery character on the release screen as well. Now, these are all things that we've been wanting to know. These are all things that are fairly interesting to us, at least in the get-go, to be honest here. And they're one of the few things that plenty of us have kind of sat here and speculated on. I say plenty of us, but I'm mainly talking about myself here on exactly how this will work. The banner schedule is going to be fairly interesting to exactly see how they're going to really work around it here. As many of us do know, Howler comes out in 2 days for at least the KR and TW side, and CN has already had Howler for a whole week, meaning after this week we should be seeing information on Sumire. Now, Sumire should be coming out next no matter what. We already have the date actually confirmed here, and that is one thing that I'm fairly interested in, mainly just because for the date of this actual release here, it's gonna open a huge, I want to say, just a giant thought process of how this game is gonna go, whether it comes down to what's it called, whether it comes down to how they take over with their collaborations. For example, their collabs that they have already been planning is P5, which we got, which was Joker and all their cast. Now we're officially done with their cast currently, but we also are going to have next P5R, which is going to be Sumire, Akechi. Unsure if there's going to be any more characters coming in, but we know for a fact Sumire and Akechi are going to be here. And then of course we then are going to have P3R and then P4G. This is kind of interesting to see how they're going to go about this, but this next like huge update is going to be kind of the milestone to show everybody, hey, this is how this is going to go down, and this is what you should expect. So on 12/19, that should be the release of the CN side of things, or at least the release of the CN side of at least Kasumi here. And that's where things are really going to go down, because then we get to see the starter, at least what's it called, the starter events. We get to see everything that's going to be going around with this, and we don't know really the time frame fully. As for Kasumi herself, or Sumire herself, it's 12/19 to the 2nd of January. This means pretty much the next week after, we're immediately going to be getting this character for TW and KR, and that's going to be immediately for, let's see, because it's like the 2nd, of course, is when well, yeah, the 2nd or 19th is when they get her, and then we get her the day, or at least the week after. So the 26th or the 25th is when we should be seeing her on TW. So with this in mind, there's a lot of things that we have to take in form. One of those things is the option of whenever Akechi is going to be coming out. We do know, of course, this game likes to kind of spread out their characters, or at least their main collab characters, between a week or so. Someone was trying to talk with me a little bit and saying, no, they actually got them to be back to back. When in actually reality, there's been mainly like OCs or limited characters who's been in between, whether they're limited or even standard characters, but they've never had anything that are in between here, or at least back to back, or at least collab unit, right? So a lot of us are predicting, when it comes down to at least Sumire, for the most part, she is going to end up releasing, then we are going to get a standard character. Now, this standard character, without a doubt, it could just be a standard character, or it could be something like how we had Cord after Kodo, can be a limited character. If it is on the side of a limited character, this character is going to need to be really busted, in which they could possibly end up doing, which can be a little bit of a problem. So let's go ahead and take a look, at least in the Discord, to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So currently, if you guys should be able to see my screen, you guys should see this pop up here, right? This is something that has always been a thing here, especially when it comes down to at least the time frame of the banners here. But we've already gotten Mont has passed, and this is the CN dates. Then of course we have Howler that's going to be passing on the 19th, going over to Cosmic being the 19th all the way to the 2nd of January. If we actually do keep this in mind and actually do have a little bit of a grasp of this here, with her coming out being the 2nd of, or at least ending in the 2nd of January, for us ourselves, we're getting it on the 25th, meaning it is going to end maybe on the 8th of January for us as well, right? With this in mind, we have a 1 little week, or technically 2 weeks, to see exactly what's going to be coming up next. Within this time here, we could possibly see the standard character most likely going to be a thing, though they've been unraveling a lot of standard characters recently, especially when it does regard this. You haven't had really a limited OC character that's been utterly different in a little bit since, I want to say, at least Mesa, right? By different, I mean the character that is in the version of a 4-star that's now became a limited 5-star. If we look back and think about it here, the last limited 5-star, other than of course where we had Tomoko and we had Closer, was actually just Mesa. Then of course we had Core, right? So if we go ahead and take this here, we have our limited character that we've seen that was a 4-star, which is now Mont. With this in at least a place, and then we now have this actual OC that has came out here, it's very likely that after Kazumi, we are getting a limited character who is an OC that we've never seen before. There are of course names that are going around such as Loom, which we have not seen much about whatsoever. And then there of course are the images that you guys saw, or at least on my thumbnail here, of that woman as well. Unfortunately, we have no information on either if it's going to be Loom or if it's going to be the new girl who's also on my thumbnail as well. We have no information whatsoever. It's kind of a little bit of a downside here. But what I can tell you is, no matter what, it's definitely going to be a limited character who's an OC. Now the question is, will they try to do something for at least the seasonal side of things, make a 4-star, a 5-star, or will they go about and do OC? That thought process is going to come down to at least the banner timings here, in which with the banner spacings how they are going to be, I do think it's going to be a limited OC who's pretty going to be busted. Ford was the only character who was a support character that has made a gigantic wave, especially inside of the support category here, and no other character has really done that just yet, especially for the limits. We have of course Mont, which I'm using currently, who's really good, but once again she's an OC that we've seen as a 4-star. She's really busted, but it's nothing to the point as broken and as making a wave as Ford does, with at least highlight potential and things of that nature. So we are most likely to see something kind of shake up, especially when it comes down in between Cosmic here. And the reason is why I think this is mainly just going to come down to, with all the characters that we have, and most people are going to be summoning for at least Kazumi, and then want to summon for Akechi, they have to have a character who's really broken to make you want to summon then, or make Wells spin. So to do so, of course, most likely during this time, it would be the perfect time to really bring out a crazy cracked character who either we've seen or maybe we haven't seen anything of yet to really get into the fray. This character without a doubt is going to be a huge motion to at least the entire framework of P5X itself, really making you want to go ahead and get this character as well, and then have to figure out your lives when it comes down to at least Akechi himself coming in. So with this in mind, we already know. Let's go ahead and do some speculating. After Kasumi is going to be a limited time OC character, much closer to Cord as well as Mesa. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, that immediately leads us into at least the development of Akechi. So if we see that this banner does end, we see that it ends on the 2nd, right? That means from the at least 3rd, or at least I want to say technically the 2nd still, from the 2nd all the way to the 16th here, we won't see another character till of course the 16th. That's going to be a different character there. So once we do have the 2nd end, we're going to get our newer character, who's most likely going to be the OC Limited, from at least the 9th to the 16th. Now 16th is then going to at least end for the most part, and well, the 9th is going to at least show that, of course, that's the first week of us actually seeing the character, right? So on the second, where we actually have the character in the game for at least CN, the 9th is where we should possibly get the character for TWKR, leading into the 16th being the newest character. At that point in time, on the 16th, if things are going at least by the banner schedule it should be, we should get a Catchy who's most likely going to last us for the next 2 weeks. Meaning on the 23rd, we should have at least Catchy available for those on TW and KR, leading to 30th releasing another OC, most likely a standard OC, hopefully going with another what's it called, main story update. This is all going to go by pretty darn fast, and a lot of us are just going to be up in the air when it does come down to this. And I feel like it's kind of going to be an interesting ride to at least go with. But all in all, we can only hope to see these characters kind of come about and see exactly what they really do with these. But one of the main things that we got to go ahead and look at is, when will this character get in? When will she be a thing? And that is one of the things I'm very much so interested in. But you guys let me know down below in the comment section what you think about this. Will this actually be the case? Will we get a limited character before any of these other characters come out? Or will we be left in the dark a little bit longer until later on? But until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay sharp, stay determined. Peace out.